How do you keep up to date with industry software and services? With interviews and demonstrations to keep you informed and up to date, here is a great investment of your time. So be sure to catch every episode of the TechSplain series. And remember to hit like and subscribe. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the TechSplain series. One of the things I love about TechSplained is, of course, not just learning about all the software and services available out there in the industry, but it's watching companies that I have interviewed morph and grow their product. Today's episode is with one of those companies. From our first interview back in April 2022, it now offers not only the primary service it did back then, but a few other great services that tie in so beautifully. The service is all geared to you offering a great guest experience and that sought after repeat and direct booking. Today, we're going back to chat with Arthur, who will explain all that StayFi can now do. Hello, Arthur.
Hey, Deborah, how's it going?
How are you? Good, thank
I'm
you. How are you?
good. I'm great.
That's good. Arthur?
Excited to talk to you again.
Yes, it's not a look. I tell you, I've had a look over your product and it's like, wow, this product grew. So we'll get straight into it. Arthur, can you please tell me, what does StayFi do?
Yeah, so StayFi started as a very simple product that did one thing, which was help collect guest email addresses. And we did that with the Wi-Fi. So the service and product we initially offered was just like what you've seen at a coffee shop, hotel, airport. Every single guest, when they log into the Wi-Fi at a short-term rental, before they get on the internet, will get a captive portal or splash page that pops up on their device, where they then see your brand, enter in their name, email, phone number, check like a marketing consent checkbox, and then they can continue on to the internet for the rest of their stay. And that way we collected emails and phone numbers and names, not just from the booker, but all 5, 10, 15, 20 people staying in a short-term rental property so that you could collect more data and grow your email marketing list even faster. And then since that product, we've continued to launch new things to basically be able to take that data and monetize it to drive more revenue and more bookings. So a while back, we launched an email marketing tool so you could do all your email marketing within StayFi, like basically a cheaper and better replacement for MailChimp for a short-term rental operator. We launched a text marketing tool. So for the first time, you could easily do text marketing to your past guests, not just email marketing. We integrated with a ton of property management software. So we don't just rely on the data we're collecting, we also can incorporate your data from basically any PMS out there these days. And then recently we launched a new product called Homepage, which is essentially like a link tree for your vacation rentals. So guests not only get taken to the splash page, but after they log into the Wi-Fi, they get to this page that displays all the most important links that you want to share with your guests, including some upsell partners. And can show you what that looks like in a minute so you can see great things that customers are doing with that. So just a ton of new ways to engage guests and drive more revenue all within one tool.
Incredible. So I forgot to add, what does StayFi do in one sentence? But you have touched on all these great services, and now we're going to drill down into it. So if we're able to share a screen now, if you can possibly show us, we understand that a guest has to log in and provide their contact details. My first question is, does StayFi actually provide the Wi-Fi, or do you plug in between the Wi-Fi and the guest?
Yeah, great question. So we're not an internet service provider. We sell a device in the US and Canada, or we can help you get that same device in any other country in the world that plugs into the existing router, broadcasts a new Wi-Fi network for guests that you name in StayFi. And when guests join that network, they will get this splash page, and you can actually keep homeowner or other networks running in the background that now you no longer give guests those credentials. So TVs, door locks, thermostats, pool controls, whatever can stay on the existing internet. They'll just be a new network when you plug in our device that you share with guests, and that when they join, they will see that splash page that you create. So we're not an ISP. So you can use Starlink, Spectrum, whoever it is, it will work with whatever internet service that you have today.
And as you said, that because some people will be jumping up and down saying, but I don't want to hand over my data. So you're saying that there is a checkbox. So to get the internet, to get the Wi-Fi, you can still get the Wi-Fi without having your details recorded.
Yeah, so you do not have to opt into marketing to get
Yeah.
on the internet.
Okay.
And the user, the customer, has some control over what those checkboxes say.
Yeah.
Do they pre-check it, not pre-check it? This all configurable within the platform to kind
Yeah.
of suit whatever types of guests that you have or whatever country you operate in.
Yeah.
And then we also have some age preferences as well. So you can have a birth date or an 18 and over checkbox. And
Yeah.
basically, if someone says that they're not 18, they also will not be opted into marketing.
Okay, fair enough. So this is the dashboard. If I say I want to join up with StayFi, first of all, I get in touch with you. You send me a device.
Yeah, so you sign
Yeah.
up on stayfi.com.
Yeah.
There's no contracts, minimums. You don't, if you want to meet with us, you can for a demo, but you by no means have to. Many customers sign up and do everything on their own pretty
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
You create an account. There'll be this get started guide,
Yeah.
which walks you step by step through all the different things you need to do to get started with StayFi. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, which
Yep.
this person has done all of them, so they're all checked. But and
Yeah.
the first thing will be to set up the Wi-Fi experience, which
Yeah.
is basically this splash page and homepage for your properties,
Mm-hmm.
which I can happily show you in a second. Kind of like what does the guest experience look like essentially?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when a guest, oops, not this one. Yeah, when a guest joins the Wi-Fi, they first see the splash page. So you can
Mm-hmm.
configure the image here, the text, everything the guest sees. They opt into email and text marketing here, and they can uncheck these if they don't want to.
Yeah.
Once the guest enters in their information, hits connect, that's when they're taken to the home page. And so
Mm-hmm.
the home page, like I mentioned before, is like the essential links for this property. So you can see here, it's this home, a guidebook, book again, visit our website, shop amenities, and local attractions.
Yeah.
So you see here, they use a Hostfully guidebook, so it links to their Hostfully guidebook from here, but they also can just upload a PDF guidebook if you don't have like a digital guidebook with a link. Book
Great.
again, that will take the guest directly to this listing if they want to book this listing again,
Mm-hmm.
a link to their website, and then we have a partnership with the Hostco and Viator, which you can turn on in StayFi.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not familiar with the Hostco, I don't know if you've done a text plane with them. They're essentially a store for your short-term rental where you can sell both stay alterations, so like early check-in, late check-out, mid-stay cleans, pool heating, all that stuff, as well as like your own goods and services.
Are they okay? Is that a US based company? Because I haven't heard of them. Are they?
It is US based, but the
Yeah.
stay alter they have some service providers that are in the US, but all the stay alterations and selling your own goods and services can be used anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a service you offer, but they're providing the infrastructure to monetize that.
Yeah, so essentially, if someone clicks on the link, this is what this guy's store looks like. So he
Yeah.
has late checkout, early check-in, extra guests, private
Okay.
chef. This is like a third-party service through the Hostco. This AI
Yeah.
concierge, baby rental, and massage again, which is a partner one through the Hostco. And
Yeah.
they're all request-based, so you can like approve or deny them on a
Yeah.
request by request basis.
Yeah.
Um, but what people do is, I'll show an example here. This homepage is a static page that exists like outside of this Wi-Fi flow as well.
Mm-hmm.
So David, I know who runs this company, he sends this page prior to the stay as well, where he says, here's everything you need to know about the property. So
Ah.
guests can, prior to the stay, shop the amenities, local attractions, guidebook, and then again, they get presented with when they log onto the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And
Because
local attractions, that's
yeah.
our partnership with Viator. So here you
Yeah.
can sell any Viator tour and activity and get a 8% commission as well.
Yeah. Now that's great because one of my questions was going to be, oh, the guidebook. You might want the guidebook before you actually arrive in the property. So if there is a URL that can be shared with the arrival instructions, that's great. They can get prepared before they arrive.
Yeah, so this page is great to share before they arrive because
Yeah.
you can send it to the booker with all the essential links. And then of course, every guest will see that when they log into the Wi-Fi. And
Yeah.
then what's cool is that this customer also set up a text message. So if you see here, he has this welcome text.
Yeah.
So anytime a guest logs into the Wi-Fi and opts into text, they'll get this text that says, hey, first name, welcome to property name.
Yeah.
Please find all necessary info in the guest guidebook, and then we'll link dynamically to the homepage for that property. So that way
Great.
they have that link on their phone for the whole stay, every single
Yeah.
guest is there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. So, yes, in terms of guest communication, you have a number of methods to communicate with everyone.
Mhm.
If they check the no marketing, they don't get this text, right? Or do they to
Correct.
get the
They
digital?
don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if they change their mind, if everyone else is getting the digital guidebook and they go, oh, damn, I should have ticked the box, can they go back and tick it? Is there any way to go
No,
back?
once you've decided you don't want to opt in, you're not opted in. So
Oh,
you get a
you might
chance.
need a pop-up box. This is your last chance. You'll be missing out if you don't.
Yeah, so guests only do the login to the Wi-Fi once per device and it's authorized for 30 days. But if you did have like a phone and a computer,
Yeah.
you could then do it on your computer and opt in at that point.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
once you do it on the device and log into the Wi-Fi, you don't do it again for 30 days. So
Yeah.
you do it again if you came back in 3 months,
Yeah.
but not like,
Yeah.
when you wake up the next day, you're not going to have to go through the captive portal again.
Yeah. Great. Good, good, good. Okay. So yes, there are a number of ways that you can communicate with guests. Okay. Well, we'll go back to Wi-Fi. They've signed up. They've got the homepage. They can see all the upsells and everything is customizable, correct?
Yeah, so everything is customizable by property.
Yeah.
We have these really nifty bulk editors. So I'll show you the homepage bulk editor, for instance. So here we'll import properties from your PMS, but you can also like overwrite that and upload your own. So this is what's going to show on the homepage. You can paste in your guidebook links by property, the book again link. When you sign up for the Hostco store in StayFi, we actually populate all these links for you. And then we show you instructions for how to grab this Viator code,
Yeah.
which lets you sell the course and activities. And
Yeah.
you can see a preview here for each one. So it's very easy whether you have 5 properties or 500. You can
Yeah.
go into this bulk editor and quickly paste in the different links for each property. So each home will have a unique experience.
Yeah.
And we have the same thing for the splash page, which is what the guest sees first. It's all built off a template. So if you want them all to be the same, you basically build this template and then it will import, you can see here from the template, all the text. But then this person decided to change the text for this one, so we overrode the template.
Yeah.
So kind of you build this template first. I'll show you the homepage template. You decide like which buttons you want to have. Do you want the host code Viator? Then once you decide on the template, then you can go in and paste in the links for each specific value for each property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
And
there's
we import all the
Mm.
properties from the PMS. So
Yeah.
anything in the PMS that could possibly fill any of these fields, we'll bring in. So we try to do everything for you based on that data, but obviously they don't have everything in every case.
Yeah. And you're integrated with a number of PMS, correct?
Yeah, so you can see them all on our website, also on the integrations
Oh,
page.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are all the current ones. I know we're adding a few more
Yeah.
this quarter, but these are definitely covering, 80% of folks out there, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Okay. So let's moving on to, so the guest Wi-Fi is done. They get to the homepage. There's lots of upsell opportunities there. What happens now with the marketing side of this? You've got the data. How are we email marketing this capture with using this data?
Yeah, so you have a few options. One is, let's say you use MailChimp and you love it and it's too painful to switch. You can connect to all these different third-party email marketing tools. I know some folks use Market My SDR because they're more like an agency and they do everything for you, right? So you have lots of options here.
Yeah.
If you like what you're doing now and you want to just keep using that tool, that's totally fine. It's free to integrate with these. We also have some like CRM. Some people are more sophisticated and have like HubSpot or Salesforce even.
Yeah.
And then if you use some tool that's pretty bespoke, Zapier will pretty much connect with anything else out there. So you can send the data we collect to pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we'd love it if you use our own email marketing tool, which this customer happens to. And there's a few options here that we recommend to set up kind of right away. And the first one is an automation.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, you can trigger an email whenever anyone joins the Wi-Fi. I'll also show you in here. This person has lots of lists, so I know it's kind of confusing. So there's this Wi-Fi data, which is bottom Wi-Fi guest lists on the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
But we also will connect and pull any real emails out of your property management software. So we found 67 more emails here that you can also market to. And then this person manually uploaded these other lists. So we try to combine any data that you have into one place.
Hmm.
Here, you can set up a series of emails once someone joins the Wi-Fi. So this is this person's Wi-Fi welcome list. So the rules are pretty straightforward. Subscriber joins StayFi Wi-Fi guest list, aka they log into the Wi-Fi. They
Hmm.
get this welcome email. It waits 10 hours. This guy does is more aggressive. So he says, was Wi-Fi email open? And if it wasn't, he'll send it again after 10 hours.
Yeah,
So if like you don't engage with the first email, he'll send it again.
yeah,
And then he sends us other content. How was your first night stay? And he
yeah,
asks them like let's fill out a little survey, how their stay was. And you can see here you can build out this very long chain of like waiting different periods of time to send more emails.
yeah.
This is definitely more complicated because he does the whole like, did they open or not logic.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can see here, like he's had, 548 subscribers log into the Wi-Fi, and he's averaged an open rate of 70% on these automated emails, just because when you get on the Wi-Fi and then an email gets right to you, your chance of opening it is much, much higher.
Mm,
So the open rates we see with like these automations are much higher than like a regular newsletter, just because it's so based around like a specific activity they're doing in the rental where they're getting on the Wi-Fi the first time.
mm.
And this email here, I can show you what he's sending. Um, this ability to like communicate with the guests when they first got on. You can see here, he's right away giving out like a 15% discount off their next day with a code. So right
Hmm.
away you can basically say, you know, hey, like here's something of value, and we offer things of value through our email program all the time.
Yeah,
Other folks that are less discount oriented, they'll give, just local recommendations,
yeah,
upsell links, how to contact us, you know,
yeah,
7 reasons to return to XYZ location. So there's lots of different creative things we see people do in these welcome emails
yeah,
to engage with guests.
yeah.
And
And
understand
that's as
yeah,
soon as they're pretty much in the property. So you've already,
totally.
engaged with them. Yeah, that's great. Yep.
First day. Yeah, typically someone joins the Wi-Fi. It's going to give all those touch points to, whether a guest booked on Airbnb, Vrbo, or a booking. Uh, they're going to see your brand, 4 or 5 times by this point. So you're going to
Mm,
start really differentiating that you're not a quote Airbnb,
mm,
and that you're like an independent company. And hopefully their great experience that they're having is because of you and not because of, Airbnb has nothing to do with how good or bad the stay is, right? They're just a
mm,
booking platform at the end of the
mm,
day.
mm. When we talk about email marketing, I always just assume that it started after the guest leaves. But, this is from shortly after they've walked in the door, you're already putting your brand and offers and helping them from just after they've logged into the Wi-Fi. It's great.
Totally. And the thing you have to remember is a lot of people are like, oh, haven't I already sent them this? But I have to remember that like 90+% of the people we're emailing are not the booker. So they have
Yeah.
no idea who you are. They have no like relationship with your company. Have never communicated with you before. So you can really think of this as like opening the conversation with a non-booking guest.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't assume either the booker has shared anything with them, right? So whether it's putting a link, you can insert into these emails, even like dynamic links to the guidebook or to our homepage.
Hmm.
So, maybe you send all these great upsells and tours you recommend to the booker a month ago, but they just may not have looked at it or maybe didn't send it to the 8 other people. So they've never had
Mm,
an opportunity to see all your great recommendations or different upsells or partners that you have. So it's really about, your first touch point with the non-booking guests and starting to build a relationship with them, because we see so many examples and have so much data around repeat travel or even referrals from not the booker, but the other folks that are staying in the property, especially if you have larger homes.
yeah. And they're almost like the forgotten guests because,
Mhm.
when we get a booking, it's all about the guest that booked, but we forget about all the others that stayed there too. And this is just capturing them all in the one net. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's great. Really great. So the thing is, StayFi is not a CRM. You integrate with other CRMs to get this sort of thing happening using the data that you're collecting.
Yeah, I'd say we're moving into the direction of becoming more like a CRM
Yeah.
in
So
this
is
in our
Switchback
email
yours?
mark. Yeah,
Sorry.
so we partnered with another company, Switchback,
Yeah.
to create this email tool. So it's like a joint partnership
Yeah.
between us. And we are working on some projects now to integrate even more data into like how this works to provide more recommendations around how to market based on the data from your PMS and the data we're capturing. So I'd say more cool things are coming that are gonna like it's being a CRM or not a CRM is not like binary, right? It's like there's many parts of a CRM, and we're kind of adding components that move us more into like a true hospitality CRM for vacation rental operators.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a multi-step process to get there.
Yeah. So with the other integrations with, the CRM, like let's say Active Campaign. So with Active Campaign, if you say connect, if I'm going to organize my campaign, my email marketing, do I go to Active Campaign? So by staying with Switchback, I stay on the StayFi dashboard and everything happens there, rather than with Zapier or Active Campaign, I go off to their dashboard.
Totally, yeah. So if I use Active Campaign or MailChimp, you connect all your details here, and then you can like include other data like property names, groups, other tags. So you can, with every integration is a little different based on like the capabilities on the other side, but typically you can send most of the data we're collecting to the other third-party tool if you want to use them.
Yeah, okay. But with Switchback, it's all done on the one dashboard.
Yeah, so all the email will be here, all the data, results, campaigns. I didn't show you here, but we also have, of course, you can send like one-off campaigns, right? The Happy Thanksgiving, whatever. You can see this person has sent some runs recently.
Yeah.
Earth Day was the last one he sent down here.
Yeah.
And then we have a ton of templates that you can build off of. So if you hit create a template, choose a design, we have a ton of really cool templates. With Switchback, we also introduced, there's like a little AI writer now. So there's like a little ChatGPT-esque widget like right in the email builder. So you can like say like, hey, write an email to invite all my short-term rental guests to come back for Christmas next year and give them this discount, and it'll just write it for you. So obviously it's not AI design yet. So it's not like designing the whole template, but from a copywriting standpoint, it can make that a lot faster.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now, in terms of the email marketing, I do know that in terms of like when guests are at the property, they prefer text messages or WhatsApp. And then afterwards, it's all about emails. So how do we go about the text marketing while they're there? During the login, when they're getting onto the Wi-Fi, do you capture everyone's phone numbers as well?
Yeah, so that's an option. You can either turn that on if you just want to collect the phone number, or you can turn on our text marketing tool and we'll add that field automatically in the opt-in field. Just to note, like our text marketing is only one way. I'd say StayFi at this point is not designed for two-way guest communication. That's not our objective at this point. So the text marketing is all one way. You're just sending them information, and you actually set up an autoresponder. So if someone texts back, it will send them whatever message you put in here. And that way you're directing them to your preferred method of communication, whether it's email, text, WhatsApp. It can be so many different things for different operators, how they want to, keep in contact with guests.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get like, be a second place to talk to guests when you already have a unified inbox or whatever other tool you're using. So it's all meant to be one way. So it's really more about sending valuable information to guests. So here they're sending the link to the homepage, or here they're offering a 15% discount. They send that to all their subscribers. And then we also have a rate and review feature, which is pretty cool. So after a certain number of days, you can actually ask the guest to rate the property. If they rate you 5 stars, you can then request a review on public rating sites, Facebook, Google, your own website. So places where you don't have to validate you're the booker, right? Because that's obviously different. And if they leave you less than 5 stars, you can collect private feedback. A lot of people do this on like day 1 or day 2, because you'll see in ratings and reviews all your ratings. And if you had a subpar rating, you could address it, during the stay and not just getting a surprise negative rating on an OTA.
Yeah. That if you can go back to that 5-star first page for the reviews, in terms of getting people to actually leave a review, it's the UX is so important, and making it so simple and quick for a guest to leave a review. That is great. Just giving them something as easy as one click. And then if they want to leave more, fine. But otherwise, that is a really, really good, interface there to get your review. Really good. Okay. I just had one question to go back to the homepage. and where you're looking at guidebooks and websites and things like that. So with a guidebook, for example, let's say I've got a touch stay. This one's got a Hostfully guidebook. So let's say I'm the guest and I click on guidebook. Does that take me off my homepage to Hostfully, or does it stay within the
Takes you
homepage?
off. It will just
Off.
go and take you there.
Yeah. Okay.
As well as you can also upload a PDF. So
Yeah.
that one is actually, we see a lot of customers that still have PDF guidebooks. And that's a really valuable way to share that, because those are often only printed, right, in the property. So you can give them, make a digital experience out of something that like is that simple and basic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good to have that option. Yeah, very good. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, Wi-Fi monitoring. So I can see over there you've got wireless networks, access connected devices. So I can actually see how many devices have signed up, or what does that area of the dashboard tell me?
Yeah, so access points is just the status of the Wi-Fi in your properties.
Yep.
And you can see these are online. I don't think he manages this property anymore, so it's just showing up here and unassigned now.
Yeah.
You can set up offline alerting, so you can get alerted when the Wi-Fi goes offline and comes back online too, which is actually important because a lot of times your internet service provider will just go down for 30 minutes and you'll get the alert as offline, but then you'll be told, okay, actually it's online again. You don't need to worry about this, right? So we see that. I'd say a lot of people discover that their internet is like way worse than they thought once they start using StayFi, and they're like, why is it going offline all the time? I'm like, well, that's a little out of our hand, right? That happens sometimes, but it's interesting now to actually see like a persistent status of your internet over a longer period of time, just to get a sense of like, is it working consistently or not?
Yeah.
Under connected devices, you can see who's on the Wi-Fi like live. There's actually nobody on the Wi-Fi in these properties right now, just fine. But if there were, you can see who they are, what device it is. You can even block devices and like kick them off the internet. And then we do occupancy alerting. And the occupancy alerting can be tied, this is interesting, can be tied to the PMS. So we'll actually look at the current reservation and compare the number of unique people on the Wi-Fi. So even if you logged on your computer and your phone, we still count you as one person. We'll compare that number to the number that are booked. So even if it's a place that sleeps 8, if they booked it for 4 and we see 6, we will let you know. And we let you know who they are. So we'll send you all their names. And then, you have 4 people booked right now, and these are the 6 people on the internet. And so you'll have more information, or, it sleeps 6, and there's 22 people on the internet. You might want to do something about that. So obviously, if there's 5 people on the internet, it's booked for 4, you're probably not going to panic. But if there's 22, it's something you want to definitely know about.
Wow. That's great. Okay. And over there with the Wi-Fi experience new, have we touched on that one already?
Yeah, so basically when we launch the homepage, we're going to get eventually the splash page is going to go away, because all we used to have was a splash page and no homepage.
Yeah.
Now, because we launched homepage, we relabeled the Wi-Fi experience, because this way you can either bulk edit splash pages and homepages, or you can go property by property and like edit and view them all down here. So you can see like for each property, this is splash page, this is homepage, and really just validate it's the way that you want for each individual home.
Yeah. Okay. This might be a silly question. I when I first started re-looking at StayFi, I like the idea of when a guest arrives at a property just to scan a QR code to get onto the Wi-Fi. And I saw that you have to check the mobile networks, and then the splash page is when the password would be shown. Is there any way to bypass that and, scan a QR code and go straight to the splash page? Do you think?
Yes. So there's so under wireless networks, you can set the name of both your guest network, and we have this thing called the admin network, which is just a normal Wi-Fi network. The guest network, I don't want to show his password, but you can have a password or not. So if the guest network is open, guest joins, there is no password, and they just get the splash page and they just can log on. So anyone can access the splash page and log on without a password. You can also have a password where they join the network, enter just a normal password, and then we'll get the splash page.
Okay.
You can create a QR code. You just go to
Yeah.
like QR code builder,
Yeah.
and there are QR code builders where you select like it's a Wi-Fi SSID is what it's called,
Yeah.
where when you scan that on your phone, it will actually join that network, and you can have a password or not there.
Yeah.
So if you have a password, you can have even the QR code put in the password for you when you scan it. It's always important to note that that's only going to work for a phone. I can't like scan a QR code with my
Oh,
laptop very easily, right?
yes.
So you can't just only have a QR code. You're still going to
Yeah.
have to provide written instructions,
Yeah.
especially if you have a password, because not everyone can scan QR codes
Yeah.
depending on the device.
Yeah. 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 True. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I
Yeah,
think I think we're done with the screen sharing. We can resume our usual questioning, and
sounds good.
which I've lost. Okay. So why would I use your product?
Yeah, I'd say number one reason people want to use our product is they want to be less dependent on OTAs and be more profitable, right? And those two things are very tied together.
I think it's also, everyone's talking about growing your email list, and what a fantastic way to grow your email list exponentially almost.
Yeah, I mean, it all feeds into that at the end of the day is the larger your list, the more powerful your email marketing will be, the better your email marketing, the more direct bookings you'll get. The
Yeah.
other thing I like to talk to is a lot of people only think of direct booking in terms of substitution. Like, I'm not, instead of getting an Airbnb booking, I'm going to get a direct booking. And so I'm going to save 15% or 10% if you split it with the guests.
Mm.
But if you can use your email or text list to get an unbooked night, a night that would not have been booked, then the ROI is much, much higher, right? So that's something we see a lot of operators do more tactically,
Mm.
especially on the smaller side is, okay, I have these 6 listings and I have this one isn't booked for this weekend that's 3 weeks out. And that's typically, it should be booked by now. Instead of just going into Price Labs or Beyond or Wheelhouse and lowering the price as the date approaches, I'm going to now email my list and say like, hey, we have one availability left on this weekend. Do you want to, stay here? And
Mm.
that way you can, look at your calendar and start using email to fill in nights that either are going to not get booked or you're going to have to cut the price to get them booked.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's great because then you can cause some FOMO, fear of missing out, and
Exactly.
get them all to be jumping quick.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw a lot of emails like only 2 homes left for the eclipse, right? So
Yeah.
it's very like, book now or else there won't be anything left. So I saw any event in your area or like, something that's very popular, you can definitely use that FOMO to
Yeah.
get because people that book direct typically book longer and further out. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to push that as much as possible. So that way the OTAs are really only filling in, nights that are coming up pretty soon, and that you've kind of tried to push your direct list to book as much as possible further out and for longer periods of time.
Yes, yes. Okay. And the usual question also is, what's your unique selling point? But I guess you're really the only one that grabs all the guests that are in the property getting their data.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely other products that are guest engagement tools that do great things, but take a different approach, whether it's a digital guidebook, um, some in-home screen, tablets, different pre-stay communication tools, which are all fantastic, right? And there's a lot of tools that work actually really well with StayFi. Like for instance, we looked at TouchStay and Hostfully we touched on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that product is better when you can get it in front of more guests. So now with StayFi, I could text all the guests a link to my TouchStay guidebook when they log into the Wi-Fi, right? So you're investing in this digital guidebook, but now there's a better way to get it in the hands of everyone there, because if more people have access to it, the value of it will increase. So we're all about working with these partners to make sure whatever you've invested in, we can now get it in front of everybody. So that's really our unique selling point, is the ability to engage every guest, not just the booker. And that can enhance the value of any other tools that you're using to make sure it's in the hands of everybody staying there.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point, because I never actually thought about, okay, when you send out the link for the guidebook, the person who booked it has to then forward it to everyone who's staying there. And this way, everyone gets it without the booker having to do anything. It's a great,
Exactly.
great service. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Now, I know we've touched on it already, but just to double check. So this is all white labeled. Everything that the guest sees from when they log in to get onto the Wi-Fi. It's all branded our own brand, not
Yeah, there
StayFi.
is no StayFi. No one will know what StayFi is.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
buried in like the privacy policy of the Wi-Fi, or terms and conditions telling them they can't do illegal things. We will be in there, but they'd have to really search a long time to figure out who StayFi is if they were
Yeah.
that curious.
Yeah. But it is really all about making sure that the guests know who the brand is that they're staying with. It's always the brand in front of the guest.
Yes, which is the craziest thing about short-term rentals is like if you stay at a hotel, you know the brand of the hotel. It's pretty obvious. It's on the door, right? It's in
Yeah.
the check-in area.
Yeah.
But so many people operate these great short-term rentals where if you asked or polled the guests, who operated the short-term rental, they're either going to say Airbnb or I have no idea,
Yeah.
right? So it's just starting to educate guests,
Yeah.
about who the actual provider of this great hospitality experience is
Yeah. Yeah.
and getting
Right.
credit for it.
Yeah. Now tell me, where or who is your target audience? Is your audience global?
Yeah, so StayFi can be used anywhere in the world. There's just if you want to use our Wi-Fi collection piece in the US and Canada, you can purchase from us the equipment.
Mhm.
If you operate in, let's say, the United Kingdom and you make a StayFi account and email us, we'll tell you, hey, this is what you need to purchase from this, store in the UK, and then we explain how to get it into your StayFi account. So
Mhm.
it doesn't matter where you are, we can make StayFi work for you. And even the email marketing tool is a standalone product. So we have a lot of customers who are like, Wi-Fi collection is cool, but you know what? I only operate one bedroom condos. And so I already get a lot of the emails. I don't really care about the one extra per stay.
Mm.
So they just use our email marketing tool. So you can sign up and just use the email tool and you don't need to use the data collection. So it's all a la carte depending on, what works best for your business.
Mhm.
In terms of operator size, we really span the gamut from single unit owner operators to 500 plus units property managers.
Mm.
Uh, I think a lot of single unit operators are surprised about the potential for repeat direct bookings, but we see a lot of success there. And also, basically, once you have any property management software, and there's so many that are great for that smaller segment, you can have a direct booking website. So the
Mhm.
barriers to accepting direct bookings have really dropped over the last few years. So many of these tools, whether it's Hospitable, OwnerRes, Lodgify, the ones that are really guesty for hosts, all of those products, a lot of them have all the built-in contracts, damage waivers, insurance, all that stuff, guest screening can be kind of grouped into the direct booking product. So you can be
Mm.
just or more protected than even an OTA booking with a direct booking. So all
Mm.
those questions we had before of like, I love direct bookings, but I'm scared of how to set it up. A lot of the PMS have done a great job of lowering the barrier so anybody can now accept direct bookings
Yeah.
confidently.
Yeah. So they allow you to accept the direct bookings and you help bring them in.
Totally.
Yeah. What a combination. Now,
Exactly.
as you mentioned earlier, there's no contract. So they just purchase the device and there's no contract. It's just a monthly payment, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so there's a monthly subscription for there's two main subscriptions. One is for the data collection and Wi-Fi monitoring based on the number of devices you have, whether it's one or 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we have volume pricing, so as you add more, the monthly per unit cost goes down. And then the email tool is a separate subscription based on the number of contacts. If you connect to your PMS, it's actually free to up to 200 contacts. So if you connect any PMS and you have 100 contacts in your database, the email tool is free until you cross 200.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similarly priced to like how MailChimp works. It's actually a little cheaper at all
Mm-hmm.
tiers than MailChimp, which is the most common tool we're replacing. So we want to make it both like, a better experience as well as a better on a cost side as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's optional, or each one is standalone because you can use the Wi-Fi and connect it to a MailChimp, or you can just use the email and not use the Wi-Fi. So it's really just up to the user which tools they want to use. And those are month to month. So we have customers who only operate seasonally. So they'll turn off the access points in the winter because they don't want to, obviously they shouldn't pay when they don't have any guests there, and then reactivate it. Or, they a property leaves their management portfolio, so they can take that one device, deactivate it, and then when they get a new property, they can move it and activate it in another one. So all of it is very flexible on a month-to-month basis, depending on, how your business is operating.
Yeah. Arthur, I've got to tell you, you've come a long way since collecting all the guest emails 2 years ago.
Just keep building what our customers tell us they want. So that's why we're going to come up with some really cool new email marketing / CRM features soon. To make email very plug and play. So you could come in literally being like, I have no idea how to send an email. Click a few things and we'll basically do everything for you. So I'm really excited to, launch those things to make email marketing even easier for anybody, no matter their skill level or confidence in doing it.
Wow, that is great. Look, we've come to the end of the usual questions. We've covered a lot. Is there anything we've missed? Or anything you want to reiterate?
Yeah, I'll just say that if you're interested in StayFi, just go to stayfi.com/demo. And on that page, you can either book a one-on-one demo if you want to go into detail, as well as we also have a weekly webinar we run where we answer all sorts of questions as you can register for. So go to stayfi.com/demo and you can get, all your questions answered before you sign up if you're interested.
Fantastic. Well, I will put those links in the description below. If you have any questions for Arthur about StayFi, please do pop them in the comments below. Arthur, it has been wonderful having a good catch up about StayFi. I had no idea. Now I had an inkling that StayFi was doing some wonderful things with email marketing, but I didn't realize how great. Wow. Thank you very much, Arthur.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to catch up on ones you've missed, just head to thetechsplainedseries.com. Or if you're short for time, you can head to thetechminis.com, where you'll find extra short interviews. See you next time.